People's Democratic Party has officially reinstated Senator Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary following his 100th National Executive Committee meeting held in Abuja on Monday. Acting National Chairman Omar Damagum confirmed the decision, stating that the party was united on the matter and announced July 23 as the date for the next NEC meeting to finalize plans for the upcoming National Convention. Anyanwu's reinstatement follows weeks of internal wrangling and a deepening rift within the party, with rival factions clashing over his position. One bloc aligned with Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde opposed his return, while another faction, backed by former Governor Nyesom Wike and several northern governors, supported it. Tensions escalated when security operatives sealed the PDP's Wadata Plaza headquarters, forcing leaders to convene at the Bauchi State Governor's Lodge, where they resolved to proceed with the NEC meeting as planned. Damagum said the resolution reflects PDP's internal capacity to manage its crisis, assuring that all governors and National Working Committee members were now aligned on the way forward. On the story, I'll start with you first, Chizzy. What do you make of this news by PDP? Finally recognizing Anyanwu's position as National Secretary.
You know, I have said it, whether we like it or yes, we have an institution called the Judicial, whether they were right or wrong. I have said that a Supreme Court judge, I think in one part of his farewell speech, said that they are not final because they are perfect, but they are perfect because they are final. Meaning that if they give judgment, whether you like the judgment or not, the onus is on the institution to obey it. And now that's the politics that people have not known about Wike. Now, what Wike will do first is to go and hold on to law. And as soon as you hold on to law, whatever you are doing is null and void. So what the PDP would have done since was to, and don't forget that the life of this National Executive Committee of the PDP will expire in 2-3 months' time. So the court has reinstated the person. Why not bring this person and you sign and then you begin to do your meeting? If you don't like him, you go to that place and vote him out. It's as simple as that. Now, but again, I can also tell you that I have not seen an end to it. Though I read, you know, the comment by the Bauchi State Governor, you know, where he was saying that, well, that even the police, he was also defending the police. The police did not barricade it as to stop them from holding the meeting, but because of a pending crisis, that they were just there to forestall some pending crisis. That if you look at if you look at the division around, there may just be the likelihood of a breakdown of law and order. So what happened was that they also went, not actually the national, they went back to hold a caucus meeting, you know, where they decided that bring back this person. That's what we're all saying. Bring back this person, let's now forge ahead and let's now have a NEC meeting. And that NEC meeting, everybody who is a NEC member will be there. You will have rights to argue. You will have right to say whatever you wanted to say. Whether it is wrong or right, there's a judgment on that. And the judgment is the Supreme Court. It's a final judgment. So there's nothing you can do. All you need to do, because, you know, I was arguing, somebody said, why would INEC, you know, why would INEC say no to it? And I said, the party that I know, in party politics, INEC will not recognize a sole signature. It is the signature of the chairman and the secretary. And for INEC, the only secretary they know is the one that the court has given. Because don't forget, when a party is in crisis, whether factional or not, INEC is involved. They will bring in INEC lawyer, so that INEC lawyer will, so that there won't be a case where INEC says no, we didn't see this if you don't involve them. So INEC lawyer will be there. They will just take it and recognize the person the court has said, yes, INEC will be there watching both of you. But they will not take this. So INEC understands who is the. So if you write and bring, then you go back to do your NEC. And I said to them that the argument then was that that the NEC meeting wasn't for, it wasn't an elective NEC meeting. It wasn't for, you know. And I said there's nothing like an elective NEC meeting. What you have is a NEC agenda preparing this. So, and the election is a process. Now, if you hold a meeting to prepare for an agenda for a convention, that means that that convention, if that meeting is illegal, that convention is illegal. Because election is not an event. It's a process. So the process starts from the agenda, then the constitution of the electoral committee or the convention committee. So if the constitution of those committees are not legal, the product of it is illegal. That's what happened in River State, quote unquote, the local government election that happened. That we said to them that the process will quash the event. So for me, bringing them, but I also see some, while you were, introducing the matter, you told us, from what we have seen, that there are also persons who are aggrieved. Of course, there is no decision of anybody that you will see dissenting views. But I think that the PDP should do more in going, other than blaming, externals. Each time any institution sits down to begin to blame externals, I ask one simple question. Are you not telling yourself that you lack the capacity to deal with your issue when you begin to blame externals? You blame the externals because you allowed it in the first instance. It was you who didn't do the right thing. For instance, in 2023, the event cumulated in 2023, PDP knew that the psyche of this nation may not be constitutional, but the psyche of this nation is that as soon as presidency has gone to the north, automatically the next one should come to the south. You know it may not be constitutional, but it has become a practice. So if you do otherwise, you know that certain persons will agree. So why not just do the right thing? Why are you looking at, as people should remove themselves from looking at somebody and doing the right thing?
All right.
That's all.
All right, very well. Chief Jackson, what do you make of PDP reinstating Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary?
I think that was what they did yesterday was what they're supposed to have done for a very long time.
Okay.
The Yoruba, we say, if a man is destined to die at the age of 100, why do you need to kill him at the age of 99? Why not just wait for few days for him to die? If the next convention we're talking about that will bring about the new national secretary, which
national officers,
national officers, is
just
on site few months, why do you need to still want to? You understand? I think what they were doing that time was they were looking at the affinity of Wike and Anyanwu. And they saw that, Wike is like standing against us. If Anyanwu is left to be the national secretary, it was going to be a tool in the hand of Wike too. Whereas, I have some friends that smokes anything, that drinks anything, that does everything, and they're still my friends. But that never one day made me do what they were doing. But we are still friends. I advise them when they say, Jackson, you two come. I say, no, thank you. If it's good for you, let it be good for you. Anyanwu is a man of his own. Anyanwu, because Wike is fighting PDP for a just cause, Anyanwu, being his friend, should not dissociate himself from him. You would have even allowed Anyanwu to remain his friend and leave him as secretary. Maybe through Anyanwu's influence, Wike might even settle whatever. You understand? That is it. So I think all this fight against Anyanwu is because he's close to Wike. So let us penalize him. Whereas Wike is a separate entity, Anyanwu is a separate entity. You understand? Wike cannot say because he's my friend and he signed on behalf of him.
Now, if you're to look critically at the strategy, the strategic alliances of the FCT minister in PDP, I would use that language, strategic alliances. Umar Damagum at some point has been accused of close affinity with the FCT minister.
Sure.
Now, Umar Damagum is the national chairman, principal officer. Now you have the national secretary, Senator Anyanwu, who has never, for one day, hidden his friendship with the FCT minister. Now you have the national secretary, principal officer, close with the FCT minister. Then the national legal advisor of PDP. So when you're talking of strategic alliances within the PDP, now you'll be looking at the national chairman, the national secretary, the national legal advisor. while on the side of Seyi Makinde and Atiku Abubakar, though Atiku Abubakar right now is no longer loud in the mix because of the coalition, you'll be looking at Depo Ologunagba, who is the publicity secretary of PDP, and who is always, you know, churning out press releases that are not in line with the instruction of the national chairman. So this is where we are. Could it be that these strategic alliances within the hierarchy of PDP executives with the FCT minister could be more of what these people are seeing as a threat, and, you know, seeing Wike as becoming the next big thing in PDP?
As a security expert, the problem I will have in solving or surmounting any security situation is when I've not seen the threat. If I've seen the threat, the problem is 80% solved. It is strategy now to surmount the threat. That's the next thing. Either unholy alliance, whatever alliance, how many months? Instead of, if I am the one, I would have been calm in order not to heat up the polity. Eating up the polity in PDP is why, the reason why some of these people that are decamping that, oh, this thing, can it still be resolved? If this is not resolved, if we contest 2027, won't it look like that of Zamfara, where the party lost all the elective, you understand, after they partook in the, you understand, because the primary was ab initio null and void. You understand? That was the reason why. It's because these people do not do it well. In that case, you begin to monitor this unholy alliance. This is an alliance that will expire in very few days to come. Why not, instead of you to use it to destroy the party, why not begin to monitor them? Or are we saying there is no difference between official relationship and personal relationship? Are we saying that? That don't mean if my wife is working in my company today, that don't mean she has no boundary because the company belongs to the husband. That don't mean if my son is managing my company today, that don't mean he can just run it the way he likes because he's my son. So these people, suspicion over alliance, anybody that meet with Wike, nobody just meet with Wike to do dinner or to do lunch. Anytime they see anybody with Wike, even if you greet Wike at the airport, you are already working for Wike against the party. That is how they have been handling the situation. They almost destroyed the party. But I want to congratulate them.
All right.
At least they have achieved
something
yesterday. And now this one yesterday now is just for them to move together. At least if they are proposing a convention now to NEC, somebody will sign as secretary and somebody will sign as chairman.
Very well.
Yes.
Chizzy, you wanted to say something.
You know, there's something that I wanted to, I'm dodging to say, but my spirit is not allowing me.
Go ahead,
not
say
to
it.
say it. There are people working for the president in PDP.
Why do you say that?
Yes, I know. Those who are insisting that illegality should ensure, those who does not want Anyanwu to come back, they are working for the president to decimate PDP.
Yes.
In the PDP, it's not even the Wikes. Don't forget that, you know, when they talk about Wike, from 2015, after the president lost the election, after they won the PDP, most of these persons traveled and Wike took over the party, putting the structures, you know, of the party to this period. And so you see that people like Anyanwu became the national secretary because of Wike. And then when they became national secretary, of course, Anyanwu came back, the court has ruled. Now, the other people know that as soon as Anyanwu comes back, and then they agreed on that, obeying the party, there's nothing you pitch on the party. So those persons who are trying for Anyanwu not to come back are working for the president. Like he said, he brought up an issue, and that issue stopped, will stop me even criticizing those who are defected. Because you know what? Something happened in Zamfara. We keep talking about elections being a process. As soon as you know that a secretary didn't sign, in fact, INEC was even lineage with them.
Yes.
INEC was lineage. All INEC would have just done is allow it, then give one person opportunity to go to court to say that the decision of the NEC is not binding on anything. And that's all, because the person who signed is not the national secretary. So INEC is, in fact, gave them a little way to say, look, this person is not, we can't accept it.
Was very magnanimous.
They were very magnanimous with them. They were just finished party. So you see that these persons wanted illegality. Like he said, like the Yoruba adage that he told us. Someone is going to die in 100 days. And then this is 90 days. Just allow, why do you want to kill the person and then be said to, like my father told me that if the day that he would die, if I'm there, that I should accuse somebody, but he wouldn't be the first person to die in my village without somebody killing him. That he can't be the first, because we saw somebody who is 80. We know this man has been sick for like 60 years. He was 60 years, he was sick for like 15 years. And then finally he died, that we should have said, oh God, let him go and rest. And then we find the family going to accuse somebody, and they were bringing the person for judgment. So my father looked at them and said, okay, you're bringing this person for judgment, that they killed this person. They should libel for the person. My father said, Cheesy, are you here? Any day I die, make sure somebody killed me. I should be the first person to die in our place without people killing us. So why don't you allow the person to leave? Yes. So why wouldn't just, but you know what, if they allow the person to leave and there is a convention of the PDP, these governors wouldn't have left. So the PDP would have been okay. So they now want to decimate it. Those persons who are saying don't bring him want to decimate the PDP so that the president will win.
So that the president will...
Yeah.
I clap for him.
Yeah.
That's it. I clap for him.
You agree with that in totality?
I agree with that more than even the way...
It could be that they are working for their own interests, not necessarily working for...
No. You can't work for interest and want to. Nobody
wants
to set up himself. Nobody wants to set up himself.
How do they working for... They are working for the interest of president and collecting their pay.
Their pay. That's all.
That's their own ATM.
That's all.
So now, if I understand this conspiracy theory, because both of you just came up with a conspiracy theory. If I understand this conspiracy theory, you people are saying that the people who have been fighting Samuel Anyanwu, this issue that has been going on for a while now, they are merchant crisis.
Yes.
PDP.
Yes. They are
crisis merchants.
It's transactional.
Crisis merchants.
Just like PDP. He said.
And they are working for the president.
Yes.
In order to destabilize PDP.
Yes.
Not to be formidable enough for 2027.
Can I tell you? Let me quote from him this way. This PDP now should go and send Thanksgiving letter to INEC.
I'm telling you.
Because INEC could manage them, allow them.
Until 2027.
When the time will come, whatever they will now build.
Somebody will just go
they will just tell somebody to go to court.
For the window to close.
To close.
The window of primaries. The window of primaries.
It would have been like if you manage to build a skyscraper.
Won't that trickle down to the states? Because both the...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Let it trickle down to anywhere. Let it trickle down to anywhere. The Mr. President will not even need to campaign because no opposition.
Oh wow. So